I just want to say, I think this guy's got a lot of good things to say. Um, it's just that I feel like a lot of these BTC experts don't give BSV a chance because they already know everything. Their cup is already full, so they can't learn anything new. The other thing is, when he talked about speculation, he's not into speculation. What else is Bitcoin besides speculation? There's no utility. So, just wanted to share a little bit of this video.
Welcome back to Block TV. It's time now for Links in the Chain. Andreas M. Antonopoulos is a man with a mission to provide education, growth, and development in the cryptocurrency space. A true believer in the power of the digital asset revolution who has kept a cool head in a tumultuous crypto marketplace. Andreas, firstly, thanks so much for being with us. For the uninitiated out there looking to capitalize on this burgeoning market, as an educator yourself, where should these people start as they potentially enter new money and new interest into the crypto space?
Well, as you probably know, I'm not on the investment side, and I'm not that interested in price movements. So my advice has always been that the one thing that you can always invest in with a high degree of success that cannot decrease in price or be subject to volatility is education. If you learn a skill, that skill is transferable. It applies across a broad range of technologies. And you don't have to get the timing right. There's always a good time to learn a new skill. So my primary advice is invest in education.
Yeah, it seems like if you could learn a new skill, that means being open to something that you don't know. So being open to Bitcoin SV and the technology and possibility would be a great thing for Mr. Antonopoulos here.
Of speculation.
An important advice to be sure. And you've served as a facilitator and an educator, man, putting his time, I suppose, and his money where his mouth is in terms of putting out that sort of education into the crypto space and beyond. But while many regularly address the importance of education when it comes to the idea of mass adoption, education is a multifaceted tool. For those uninterested in learning the depths of the tech, who just sort of find the interest in the crypto markets, in crypto assets, do you think that there's hope that we can get the sort of mass adoption that so many in the industry hope for, while still ensuring those levels of education that those such as yourself see as so important?
Absolutely. But I think mass adoption is not going to come in the way most people think. Mass adoption to me is not people in Western developed nations using crypto to buy Starbucks, because there's no need for that. That's not the primary market need. I think for me, mass adoption is basically the opportunity, giving people a choice to have an alternative online currency that cannot be debased, controlled, censored.
You know, it's sad because Bitcoin is so much more than currency, and yet these experts, that's all they talk about because they're not open to the idea of big blocks and mass data.
And where you have a degree of transparency and predictability that is not currently on offer by traditional financial systems. And there's a market of 6 billion people who desperately need that. According to the latest statistics, more than 50% of the world's population now live under dictatorship or totalitarian regimes. They need this technology far more than the average Westerner. So to me, mass adoption isn't, retail purchases with crypto, because you can easily do that, especially in the developed world.
You know, he's forgetting to talk about institutional investors, big business. That's how mass adoption is going to get implemented.
With the tools we already have.
Certainly, that notion of those countries that really do need this infrastructure in the emerging, developing world, as opposed to the maybe plaything, more toy element, more speculative element of crypto markets. I certainly take your point there, but I suppose I look at examples like, let's say, just to pull up one, the OneCoin example, a Ponzi scheme where billions, by any estimate between $4 and some say upwards of $15 billion, were scammed out of those who didn't fundamentally understand what a cryptocurrency was, what a blockchain is, what a distributed ledger actually looks like. Is that not a concern that
Yes.
people are going to misuse this sort of technology and lack of education?
Absolutely, they are, and that's why I put the emphasis on education. People need to learn about the criteria they need to evaluate.
Again, if you're not open, you can't learn. If you already think you know everything about Bitcoin, you aren't open to learning more, to seeing new possibilities, to seeing new use cases.
Before jumping in. And I think in many of these cases, this is a perfect example of the attitude of investment getting ahead of the attitude of education. So investments should be something you do after you already have a good understanding of the technology. And if you are not...
Again, why would you want to invest in something that has no utility like Bitcoin when you can invest in something and be a part of something like BSV, which does have utility, and more businesses are being built on it every day?
About that, then you're not ready to invest. And there's a lot of pitfalls. You know, this is a double-edged sword. And part of the reason it's a double-edged sword is because the world desperately needs open financial products that can be accessed by the billions of people who are left out of the current financial system. But when you go into these open financial products, that also means that all of the vetting and security needs to be done by the investors themselves. They need to be aware of what they're getting into. And inevitably, as you see in any immature market, there will be people who take advantage, and you will get these Ponzi and pyramid schemes emerging.
Certainly. And the mantra of, DYOR, do your own research, obviously is paramount to the sort of cryptocurrency, digital asset ideology. But
we're going to stop it there. I think it's enough. I just want to say, I think this guy's got a lot of good things to say. It's just that I feel like a lot of these BTC experts don't give BSV a chance because they already know everything. Their cup is already full, so they can't learn anything new. The other thing is, when he talked about speculation, he's not into speculation. What else is Bitcoin besides speculation? There's no utility. So just wanted to share a little bit of this video. Some hypocritical things I think he's saying that he's not doing. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.